Bears fans, we are so late to the party on this one, and Kevin, I came and do the rest of the intro. Can you please just hit us with our first triangle ring of the season?
Ready? Here we go. One.
Let's go. One.
I hope I ring this every fucking
One.
Let's go, brother. Come on. Don't Tom Brady.
Let's go. Not gonna Tom Brady you. Bears fans, welcome back to another episode of Bears Fans Talk. Sorry for about the brief hiatus.
Yeah.
I just flew back in from Colorado, where I watched this Bears game in Denver actually.
Yep.
And before we kind of get into our rapid reactions, Kevin, I just kind of want to set the scene for like my viewing experience here.
Okay.
So we're at a wedding in Denver, Colorado. Shout out to Hannah and Ben. Congratulations, lovely wedding.
Watching, obviously.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we'll send it to him. Yeah, I'll send it to him.
Just for this.
We mentioned you in the episode. Two more viewers, potentially 2 more subscribers for us to break 80. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, by the way. But so they're getting married. Ceremony's at 4:30. Game starts at 11. Mountain time.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So we're staying downtown Denver.
Yep.
I look up, just Bears Bar. Find a pretty cool one. Just like
Bears Bar.
Yeah, Bears Bar. Chicago.
Wow.
Chicago Bears Bar. I think also a Hawkeye Bar too. For some reason, those things kind of go hand in hand. I'm not quite sure why.
Disappointing Saturday for you guys.
It was a very disappointing Saturday, but we're not going to get into that on this podcast.
Not as disappointing as it was for ND though. Sorry, ND fans.
No,
Losing to Northern.
That's a rough one. Northern Illinois.
Brutal.
Yes.
Anyways though.
So I just Google a Bears Bar. So running a little bit late. Tara drops me off at the bar just so I don't miss the first kickoff. Walk in. It's like a River North, like dark, crowded, standing room only bar downstairs.
I thought you were upstairs.
I did go upstairs. So I went downstairs first.
Okay.
While I was waiting for Tara to come in.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching like the moments leading up to the game. They show like a clip of Caleb Williams just walking out onto the field, and the bar is erupting. Game hadn't even started yet, just cheering.
Yep.
And I can't imagine. I can't think of a more like when the last time I just felt like a palpable level of excitement for Chicago football. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, we had some other people with us. I probably would have just stood there in the crowd and just been giving high fives the entire time. But we ended up going to a nice little like outdoor area. They had like the misters coming down, nice. Like 80 degrees in the mountains. And I'm just like plopped in front of a TV, outdoor TV, and I'm just watching like the first.
Was Cam with you too?
First quarter. Cam was not with us.
Nice.
Cam was actually nice.
Well, no, okay. I'm saying that because my son went down for a nap, and I'm like, thank God. Thank God. But you want to watch it.
The baby stayed with the in-laws back in Steamboat.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
So we actually had I think it was the first weekend away from the baby that we had.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And it was good.
Big steps.
It was good, and he seemed to do really good. So that was my viewing experience. A lot of very diehard. I wasn't even wearing a jersey, but I was like, McMahon jerseys and Peyton jerseys.
Great.
Good contingent of Chicago Bears fans. Just a really good atmosphere to watch the game. I really felt like I was there. I wasn't missing out on anything.
Denver's like a transplant city, though, so like.
That's a good point. That's a good way to describe Denver, I think.
A lot of people like migrated over to Denver. Like we had the whole pot thing, legalizing that.
I feel like it's a place you go to find yourself.
Yeah, it boomed.
Yes.
And like it's a very younger, like our generation is very much there and a little bit older than us.
It's like, the outdoorsy type. They're leaving Columbus, Ohio, because they read a book where they decide they love the mountains. And
dude, not to talk about geography real quick, but like Illinois is really flat. The best thing we got is Starved Rock.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you go to Denver and like you can be in a mountain in 30 minutes and hiking up some of the most beautiful terrain in the world. So I get the draw.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
No, I like it too. Everyone like criticizes Illinois for being flat. I don't really bother the terrain being flat. What I love is like, when you're driving through like a heavily wooded area and there's like waves of trees and stuff like that. I kind of like that.
We don't have that much in Chicago. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, not Chicago.
Are you talking about forest preserves?
But there are some forest preserves in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind the fact that the terrain is flat. That being said, I like Colorado because I know my wife is behind the camera right now, just being like, "We're moving to Colorado."
Well, first we're moving to Park Ridge.
That's true. So rapid reactions. Let's get into it.
Sure.
What your first thought on the game? Because this was a doozy. Group chat was going off through this one.
So rapid reaction, like first half, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And like I put some money down on the game and I took money line Bears. And like, I was sweating the crap out of it. I couldn't believe, I'm like, the Tennessee Titans aren't supposed to be that good. And like, we'll talk about that like later, but I was very nervous for the Bears. And, thank God for the defense.
Were you though? So you were nervous for the Bears in the first half. Were you feeling like, oh no, more of the same?
More of the same. So like the Velus Jones, when he muffed the kickoff, I was just like same old Bears there for a second. And like, it was like they got some stuff going, and I thought Caleb was trying to do a little bit too much. I was a little taken aback by it. I thought they abandoned the run game a little too early. Like, it was like nothing was really working, and like you don't expect Caleb to do a ton off the bat, but like he was trying to do a little too much. I thought when we dug ourselves such a hole, down 2 touchdowns going into halftime, I was nervous.
Yeah. So like here's the thing: is like it looked really really bad. My reaction as I was watching that game, and I think I've got the receipts to prove this as the second half was starting. It looked bad. Like it was really disappointing. Offense was not clicking. I mean, we're all, like Bears fans across the internet are touting like we have a top wide receiver crew, and maybe we do, but it did not come out to play. But going into halftime, there was just something inside me like it does not feel like we are the worst team here. We got a couple of bad bounces, the Velus Jones thing.
That was awful.
That was bad, but like, it was still a bad bounce. Like he muffed it. He muffed it, and it went 20 yards down the field.
He kicked it, but
it's bad luck.
But the defense too wasn't holding. Tony Pollard was looking at Pro Bowler.
The first 2 drives of the game,
he was
but the first 2 drives of the game were 3 and outs for the Titans.
Yeah, I remember. I do, yes. But when he scored a touchdown, like. Tony Pollard was a Pro Bowl.
He was ripping chunks, but it was after. I mean, I think you have a couple of like back and forth. Like I think the Bears had a first down on their first drive and then punted. Then it was a 3-out by the Titans, and I think it was a 3-out by the Bears, and it was a 3-out by the Titans. I think when you're putting the defenses back on the field so quickly like that, eventually there's going to be some sort of breaking point. That being said, like I just in my heart of hearts believed. I'm like I really thought going into the half, like there was a really good chance that the Bears were going to turn it back on, and we would just be hearing the announcements being, oh, it's been all Caleb Williams or all Bears in the second half. It did not turn out to be all Caleb Williams in the second half.
It's easy to say that sitting here now, but I
said it in the group chat.
Who was your first half MVP?
First half MVP? Probably Tony Pollard or Will Levis. Will Levis looked pretty good.
How about for the Bears?
For the Bears?
I'll tell you mine.
Tory Taylor. Tory Taylor 6 punts, 3 inside 20.
Yeah.
And I think a net of 45 yards. I think there was one. I think his first punt bounced to the 3-yard line, and I think the gunner did not make a good enough effort.
Touchback. But still, though, I'm glad we drafted that punter. Like Tory Taylor, it was. I was like, oh my gosh.
He had a 60-yard punt.
I was like, is he bad luck? Like, I mean, I don't know, right? Like, it was weird, but
right.
I'm happy. I'm happy we escaped with a dub. And the thing that I'm gonna quote Mr. Jeff Dahlberg Sr. Do you know what he says?
What do you say?
Good teams win. Great teams cover. And the Bears covered.
Bears did cover. It's surprising after a game like that they actually covered.
Down 14 at halftime and they covered.
They sure did.
I mean, that's my takeaway for that.
So we'll kind of break it down point by point. But I want to introduce another segment.
I love this. Yeah.
Because I think that most games have some sort of iconic moment or iconic line. I'm challenging both of us to say this is the blank game. In your mind, like what was the iconic moment of this game, and what would you name it?
Yeah.
So I just kind of sprung this on you right before we started recording. Yeah. So you got something for me?
I do. So it's not really like an iconic thing. I guess it's more of a theme.
Sure.
That I'm gonna go with.
Sure.
And it's gonna be called like the best situation game.
The best situation game. Okay.
Best situation for Caleb. Okay. So this goes back to what everyone was talking about when he first got drafted 1 overall. Like, the Bears weren't the worst team in the NFL last year. They had a good defense.
Yeah.
They're decent. So Caleb's walking into a situation where he doesn't have, like, this game, if nothing else proved, he doesn't have to be
the guy.
He doesn't have to do it all.
Yes.
And, like, because of that and because we have this defense that we have, you can kind of lean on that. You don't have to make those crazy plays, scramble out of stuff, and do everything yourself. So this is the best situation. If nothing else, Caleb can walk away, take a deep breath. He got the W. Great.
You're right.
He got the W, and like you played not good.
No.
He played atrocious.
Sub 100 yards passing.
I mean, unbelievable, and he still got the win. So going forward, like just Caleb, you don't have to do it all, man. Like you can lean on the defense if it's not there, and he didn't throw picks, and we can talk about that in a minute.
I mean, his decision making wasn't bad, yeah.
And he missed a lot of throws, but that's okay. And he can miss throws. He can be a rookie because we have a defense you can rely on.
That's true.
That would be my headline, is like best situation for Caleb.
So when I was thinking of this, my first gut reaction was to call this the Flus game, and I'm not going to do that, but that's But
I thought about that.
But here's my thinking. So what's so great about this game compared to previous years is that the script is so often flipped. Like we blew these big leads, and we were at least I was very much last year pointing your fingers. Like when your team can't seal the deal up a couple of scores in the fourth quarter, that's on coaching. The coaches have got to keep everyone's mind right. Conversely, the fact that they were able to stay in this game, stay with the winning attitude, make the plays that needed to be made. I mean, you can call this like the Stevenson game or the Jonathan Owens, Mr. Biles game, but the fact that Flus was able to keep this team with a winner's mindset, because this is how every team that makes the playoffs has a game or two like this, where it's just like you have that winner's attitude. You know how to be in a position when the ball bounces your way to take advantage of it. Yep. So I wanted to call this the Flus game, but the problem with that is like I find it so hard to really credit the Bears on this win, and I don't think that really, in my mind, encapsulates what this game was to me. And over the last couple of days, I've been seeing a meme that I just want to play the clip here. So here's the meme. Let me see if we got
these photos are hilarious.
I'm gonna go ahead and just play the clip.
I mean, great.
Absolutely atrocious play. Will Levis had to play like this earlier in the game where he just shoveled it across, and I really thought they were going to call it a fumble. But yeah,
so what is this? The Will Levis sucks.
So this is the Will Levis surrender Cobra game to me.
Okay.
So, and I just love the surrender Cobra meme, or the surrender Cobra thing.
Yeah. Danny
Dimes had one of these in the preseason that I thought was hilarious, and the fact that it happened again in week 1 in a real game is great to me. So to me, this is the Will Levis surrender Cobra game.
He gave it to us.
He gave it to us. The defense really got a lot more pressure on him in the second half.
Sure.
And I do think they lost their starting center. And that's really what it felt like was the difference maker. I think they lost one of their best linemen to begin the second half. And the pressure really started getting home. And that play in particular, I think they brought 7.
Yeah.
So I think it was a matter of time in this game. And that's kind of the way I felt the way I did going into the second half. It was a matter of time until the Titans showed us who they were, which is not a good football team.
But the first half, you come out and I saw some missed tackles and the defense wasn't what I was expecting it to be. And, the way I kind of feel about it is, I don't want to say going back to preseason, but just in general, I'm just a firm believer that I think starters should play more in the preseason because there was some sloppiness and just off the bat. And I mean, I'm just so happy that we got a dub on this game.
Yes, we'd be looking at this game much differently if we're sitting 0-1 and it looked bad. Even if the Bears fought back to me, if we lost this game 16-17.
Exactly. So say everything happened but then they kicked the field goal, they end up winning.
They made it on the game winning drive.
Yeah, they still won the game. We would still be looking at this completely differently. And I think the fact that the Bears did win the game, it's a lot different of a tone. And I'm happy Caleb got a dub in his first game and
first overall quarterback to win their debut.
Quite a while.
At least since 2002.
Who would it? I don't even know.
I don't know. I just saw a stat that the quarterbacks are 17 and first overall pick quarterbacks are 17-1.
Really?
When their debut starts. It might even be more egregious. I think the number was 2002.
It makes I'm not. I mean, surprised.
Yeah. Quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall always drafted by absolutely terrible teams.
Well, that's why I came up with the best situation.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good one.
And that's where I'm at for it.
But I'm going to leave it to the commenters. I think we're going to make a collection of these. Vote: is this the best situation game or is this the Will Levis surrender Cobra game?
Yours is more funny. Mine is more real.
Well, that's fair. I mean, okay, so let the viewers decide. You want the real one, or you kind of want the joke one? So be sure to comment in the at the bottom of this one, and then we'll keep track of these throughout the course of the year.
And we'll keep a tally. We'll keep a scoreboard up on the side.
Sure.
I love that. Okay, go ahead.
I sprung this on you, so next week you'll be ready for one to compete with me.
I liked my answer.
Okay, I think it's fine. I like your answer too. I think it's true. So let's go on to like more specifically Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So his stats for the game, let me just pull these up. So he was 14 for 29.
Yep.
It really didn't feel like he threw 29 times.
I was surprised to see that too, honestly. And obviously 0 touchdowns, 93 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Great. I lost my bet week 1, Bears to throw a touchdown pass in every game. So that's dead. I know, week 1.
I do think I told you that was rough, but then you kind of convinced me at the end of it.
I know it was tough. The 2 sacks, the 1 sack he took was so off, because that was in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They were driving, they were in field goal range.
Yes.
You cannot be taking sacks like that when you're in field goal range.
But you know what? Like, it's almost like,
Look at that rating, 55-7.
yeah, it's about the same as Will Levis's. But here's the thing is,
I like the 5 for 15. Does it show first downs on that too for Caleb?
I don't believe it does.
Because he scrambled for 2 first downs, I think.
Rushing?
Yeah, on rushing.
5, yeah, okay.
Which was great.
Yeah.
Like, that's using his legs a little bit.
I think he used his legs okay. The thing about like the bad sack, it was a bad sack. I mean, there's no way around. He lost 19 yards on a sack. But the plays that he was making in the preseason were kind of from those scrambling. Like, he was getting away from those defenders in the preseason and finding guys.
He was playing backups.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the truth. And I think, I made a very clickbaity title video in the preseason, like, we have serious concerns about Caleb Williams. And it was because it was against the Bills, where he had the 2 or 3, they kept him in the game a lot longer because he had like 3-4 bad drives. Yeah. Yep. And in those bad drives, I said he's not really finding people in the pocket. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not able to drop back, make the read, and throw it. And then in the drives that were good in that game were the ones that he was making those off platform broken plays in the pocket.
Yep.
And those were my concerns. And like, the Titans' game plan on defense, keep him in the pocket, make him make his reads. And he was missing some throws.
The other problem too is that Tennessee, they weren't like bringing crazy pressure either.
No.
Which is which was talking about this offensive line, which we can talk about in a second. Before we move on to the offensive line, if you go back to the stats, a good takeaway that I think go to receptions, targets. Keenan Allen led the league with 11 targets.
Really?
Yeah, he had only 4 receptions, but he was targeted 11 times.
11 times, yeah. Well.
That's top tier. That's great. So like, obviously there's a connection going on with Caleb and Keenan Allen, which is great to see because,
I mean, is there?
I mean, at least he's looking for him.
He's looking for him. He also dropped a touchdown pass.
I know. And Caleb missed him along.
Caleb missed him on a long, wide open ball, yeah.
I was a little surprised on, like, he took a few deep shots, which were great. And, like, I remember, like, almost every deep shot he took, like, I'm, like, jumping up and down, like, oh, my God, complete it. Like, I wanted it so bad.
Yeah. And he was hitting those in the preseason, but he was just a little off.
I wanted a splash play to happen so bad. Like, I really wanted it. And it didn't come. Like, I wanted fireworks week 1. And it's okay it wasn't there because we got the win. But I'm glad he didn't turn the ball over.
That's true. I mean, I don't think his decision making was terrible, and we're going to talk a little bit about the offensive line too. And I don't get the sense from talking with you, and I don't really think I feel this way either. But are we concerned that Caleb Williams is a bust week 1?
I mean, I'm not gonna.
What's your temperature on that?
I
not even willing to consider it.
On a scale from 1 to 10, it's a -5.
Okay.
Because you can't, like, first of all, like, the win helped a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
Like that.
It definitely changes. It puts it in a different light.
Even if they didn't win this game, you can't. And I'm going to be much more patient to not overreact with Justin Fields and stuff like that. And even when he does have an amazing game, I know we're like Super Bowl bound Bears and all that stuff, but like, keep the expectations. He is a rookie. If nothing else is proved, Caleb is a rookie. And look at Bo Nix, who started in Denver, who's awful. His ADOT, his average depth of reception or target or whatever, was like 1 yard.
I do think didn't Jaden Daniels? Didn't have a great game either, but
it's hard. Yeah, like the NFL is a hard league to play in.
Right.
But
you can't just say that NFL is a hard league to play in. That being said, I still feel like it's there for Caleb.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's okay.
There were times in the first season where I just really questioned whether or not it was there for Justin or whether it was there for Mitch. I still think it is. Jury's out. I'm not going to say I'm a -5 in terms of the Caleb is a bust worry. I'm going to put myself at a realistic 2.
So here's the
2 out of 10.
Here's like another way to phrase it, right? So like he's not a number 1 overall pick, but Will Levis, I'm pretty sure was a first round pick. Do you want Will Levis?
Will Levis is a second round pick.
Second round pick.
He fell. That's why they made all those memes about him.
But he should have been a first round pick.
Probably.
But what I'm saying though, like you look at the other talent around the league, you look at the decision making Will Levis is making with his standing Cobra, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you look at that decision making, and I'm like, I'd rather still have Caleb. Like
at the very least, Caleb didn't do anything to really lose us this game.
Exactly. That's kind of where I'm at, right? So I'm just saying, like, just play within yourself, play smart. I want to see like the play calling, like I want to see like Cole Kmet wasn't on the field like rarely at all. Gerald Everett's on the field a lot more. Like, why don't we run 2 tight end personnel all the time? Like 21 personnel, like help him out a little bit. Get some easy completions for him. Get his confidence up.
I've heard people say Shane Waldron is still kind of figuring out the personnel. It was strange. It was strange. It was strange. The fact that Cole Kmet wasn't on the field as much. That being said, and I did feel this in the game, that the offensive line didn't look all that good, and this is probably one of the worst of the plays here.
They didn't look that good.
They didn't look good,
dude. That's tough.
Yeah, so Coleman Shelton looks like it really struggled. Here you just see a play just get absolutely blown up and a ball get tipped to the line. A lot of stuff is getting tipped to the line, which is sometimes on the quarterback, sometimes on the offensive line, not getting blocks down. Like you gotta get your defensive lineman's hands down.
What about the one that he almost had an interception? Do you remember? He was kind of, I don't know if it was near the red zone or not, when Roma Dunze actually got the catch.
Yeah.
It like popped up in the air.
That was Roman Dunze's only catch, was that ridiculous play, which it saved. I think they ended up getting a field goal on that drive. I think that might have also been the drive where
Keenan Allen
dropped the touchdown. Yeah. So these are just like the grades, and you guys probably can't read this. Darnell Wright and Braxis Jones, our tackles, did relatively well. So Darnell Wright had a win percentage of 34%, only lost 6%. Good. Nate Davis lost 27%.
Wow.
And Coleman Shelton and Ryan Bates, basically, Bates was kind of coming in and out at guard, but he's also the center that was kind of fighting with Coleman Shelton for his job. They both did really bad.
Wow.
13% win rate and 11% win rate. And then Ryan Bates only has 6% win rate on runs, and this is up here is for pass blocks. So the offensive line, I don't want to belabor this point. Offensive line did not have a good game.
So I'm like to pivot real quick to the 49ers game, because a point that they brought up during the game was that, like, you've seen the stats on the Niners, how they spend money. We all know Brock Purdy's only making $1 million a year this year, and they're able to spend money elsewhere. And where the Niners have decided to invest their money is in playmakers, in people who have the ball, and they don't spend a lot of money on their offensive line. And like, I was watching the Jets game, and they say that, and I'm watching the way they're able to run the ball with the offensive line that's not heavily invested. I'm like, why can't we find guys that can do that? Like, I don't get how they're so bad.
I think it's probably Shanahan. I think it's the difference of Shanahan versus the offensive line coach for the Bears and scheming and things like that.
It's just so frustrating though when you're going to say that they're not investing in their offensive line. They're investing all this money in their playmakers, and then they're able to move the ball the way they're able to move the ball.
If I kept in meaning have this be something we discussed before the season started, that if we have high expectations, we both predict playoffs and expect at least a 10-win season, and the things that could prevent that from happening in my mind before the season started, where we're not good on either one of our lines.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the line is not sexy, but the line wins games.
Yeah. So I think those are the big glaring spots right now. And I think the offensive line really has got to come together and figure it out. I don't see us being able to make a move. I don't see a lot.
That's not the way offensive line works.
Yeah, it's not. You can't just bring in a guy. I think they've kind of got to cohese a little bit.
Yeah, they got to be boys.
I think what we have is what we're going to have, and that's about it. So we'll see. We'll have to see if this gets better, because right now it did not look good.
I mean, it's definitely a point. So you have these 3 wide receivers that we're talking about, best receiving room, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. But if Caleb doesn't have the time to throw the ball, not happy. I thought DeAndre Swift had a decent game. When he had the ball, he did well.
No, I did not think he had a good game.
You think he had good games?
He had 30 yards.
But when he got the ball,
he barely got the ball.
That's the problem.
Well, yeah. Then how can you say he had a good game if he barely got the ball?
But when he got the ball in space, he did decent.
DeAndre Swift, 0. Well, this can't be right. I guess it doesn't count the.
Go right. Look at targets, Johnny.
One target.
But why?
So
why
what are you talking about?
But why is he not touching the ball more?
I mean, I don't know. He had 10 carries, only averaged 3 yards. The Bears spent most of the time down 2 scores, But we thought DeAndre Swift was going to be more of a something in the pass game.
Safety valve.
Didn't work out that way. He did have the 2-point conversion, which didn't show up in the stat sheet here. But yeah, I mean, you said, we had this argument a couple of weeks ago. You thought DeAndre Swift was going to be a huge upgrade. And I'm not sold.
We stayed at 148 total yards?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot. So 20% of it's coming from DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, okay. Jeez, so you say it's a bad game and 20% of it belongs to DeAndre Swift.
I'm just saying.
Not good enough for me.
It's not like 400 yards were put up and he only put up 30 yards of the 400.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I would like to see them start more run heavy against the Texans, and even as I said that, I'm just like, this game could be ugly if we come out the way we did.
6.5 point dogs right now.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
It's a lot of. We'll talk about Texans in a minute. Let's talk about defense now.
Okay. Yeah. So I do have this clip. I can't remember if this is. I don't think this is the block punt. I think this is the. Oh, this is the block punt. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I was on the phone with my mom at this point, and I was going crazy.
Yes.
I was calling her about something else. I was like, oh, my God. She's like, what happened? I was like, Bears finally scored.
I was immediately like, oh, my God, Jonathan Owens. So it was at this point in my life where I realized that the solution to male loneliness is yelling, let's fucking go, and high-fiving, and high-fiving a stranger in a bar who is also yelling, let's fucking go.
I mean, yeah. Like, that's how males bond.
Yes.
You guys just became best friends.
It was great. It was a great experience. I was and the same for the pick six, the Will Levis surrender code pick six. So yeah, I mean the defense they eventually wore them down. I'm worried that it was because they lost their starting. I believe it was their starting center. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comments. But the defense started getting home. Will Levis could do nothing. We had Tony Pollard under control. They scored 0 points in the second half. So you got to give the game ball to the defense. And Stevenson got NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Oh, did he really?
I think I saw that on Instagram. Yes.
Good for him.
Yes.
I also like special teams too, like with the block punt, but the kick return right before halftime. Huge.
What was super cool about that is and I saw that this idea get a little bit of traction. They ran a counter, like they brought someone from the other side. Did a seal block. It actually looked like the first little bit of like actual play calling in this new kick return setup that I'd seen.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing when I watched the Thursday night game, the coaches didn't really change. They were still kicking out the back. Like, we're not dealing with this. Like, yeah, whatever. Take it at the 30. We don't care.
I think that like just in general with the new kick return rules, if I'm like, I don't really want a big play to happen to me in prime time. So like, I don't know. Well, why not just give it to them at the 30 and not like let the 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock games figure it out? I'm just saying though, like.
So you're saying don't let them do it in prime time, but let them do it on the 12 o'clock and the 3 o'clock game?
I don't think they really know how the kickoff's going to work.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they really know how well or how bad it's going to be. So if you get blown up for a touchdown and a kick return on a prime time game, like
people think kick returns are exciting.
They are, but I don't want to be the guy to give it up.
Of course not. Nobody does.
But if I'm the special teams coordinator, I'm like, just give him the ball at the 30.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like, I feel like why take the risk in a primetime game?
No, I agree. I think if I'm a coach, I'm still having him kick it out the
until someone else.
Because when you're stopping them, you're not stopping them at like the 15.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. So I think if I'm the coach, I'm kicking it out the back. Personally.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a fair point. I think if they continue to do that, then the NFL, because the NFL wants these to be,
they're going to move it up more.
Move up to the 35. They're going to find what that breaking point is.
Yep.
So we'll see how that works out.
Give the ball to 40.
Because I think some of the seasoned coaches, and I haven't seen a lot. I didn't see enough other games to really comment on what other coaches were doing. But it seems like some of the more veteran coaches that I was seeing, like Kansas City and the Ravens. They were just kicking out the back, which I think is a smart play to do at this stage.
Why you don't want to be the guinea pig to make the mistake. Just give them the ball at the 30 and just call it a day. Okay. Honestly.
So last thing I think to talk about is this game is Keenan Allen and Roman Dunze are both on the injured list. Did not participate in Wednesday's practice.
Yeah. So the way I think about that too is Keenan Allen just could be a Veterans Day rest.
Could be.
I mean, I feel like he can earn it, but
see DJ Moore said like, oh, he's an old guy, man. It's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Old day off. Yeah.
I don't know. He was kind of like he was working on a bum calf before the game that they were worried about. He came off hobbling. Did not have a great game.
Told you he's an injury guy. I told you don't want to send an injury guy. But
I know.
It's going to be okay. But Roman Dunze, he's going to be out a few weeks with that MCL strain.
They said it's week to week. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to be
What's the doctor say?
I don't think they're going to be any in a hurry to rush him back. I think the doctor would say, like, you feel like you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Probably not this week. I think the following week, if he felt like he was ready to go. I know I'm saying like from the doctor's perspective, but I think from a coach's perspective, no hurry to bring him back. I think he's going to be gone at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks, few weeks.
Yeah.
I'd say 2 to 3 weeks.
I don't think he'll play in September, is what I'll say.
And it's the 11th, so it'd be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's about right to me.
That's fair.
And I think it's whatever. It can't get much worse in this game, and we still got a W. DeAndre Carter looks like a guy who maybe could have some explosiveness to him.
Did Tyler Scott do anything in the game?
He did not. I don't think he had any catches.
So
I don't know if he had a target.
Yeah, so with no Roma Dunze, Tyler Scott's going to be Tyler Scott show. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Joe Everett, 1 catch for -1 yards.
Cole Kmet, 1 target, 1 catch, 4 yards.
That's a problem, man.
Yeah. It's just like, all these targets to DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
DJ Moore had a great catch on the sideline. I thought he got hurt after that when he caught that play.
I didn't realize DJ Moore only had 36 yards.
Dude, you're forgetting. He passed for less than 100 yards.
These numbers are brutal.
I mean, it's less than 150 yards passing. What do you expect? Total offense.
So, yeah, those are the most notable. It looks like our fullback, Kerry Blazingame is limited. But yeah, the only do not participates are Roma Dunze, get DeMarcus Walker, the foot. So not terrible. I'm hoping Keenan Allen will play.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to be in a rough shape if we've lost our 2 and 3 wide receiver going into this game.
Well, do we want to?
Which a lot of people, yeah. So let's go on to the Texans. I did not get a chance to watch this game. It was a very hard fought battle against the Colts, and I believe they won 29-27.
I think it was a 2-point game, yeah.
Yeah, and I think
it's a weird number to swear though.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. C.J. Stroud, I believe had a pretty good game. I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
I'd say he's all right.
So, were you able to do any scouting report on the Texans? Can you tell us anything about what we should be expecting?
You're going to be expecting Joe Mixon came down from Cincinnati.
I think he crushed it. I think I did.
Joe Mixon had a great game.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs, I don't know if he had 1 or 2 touchdowns, but maybe an anomaly there. Nico Collins had over 100 yards receiving. The team's scary.
How are the Texans on defense? Do we know anything about that?
Well, they played Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson, I can pull up the box score. I think he only completed 10 passes.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat that outside of he had 3 big balls.
Yep.
And outside of that, he had 61 yards or something. Something. Yeah. So I wonder. I'm gonna pull up defensive ranking.
Yeah. He only completed 9 passes for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. But he also rushed 6 times for 56 yards and 1 touchdown as well. But just the Texans in general, Joe Mixon went 30 carries for 159 and 1 touchdown. C.J. Stroud went 24 for 32, 234 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. I mean, dude, they're stacked. They are stacked. And Joe Mixon was a huge pickup for them. And I think Cincinnati really hurt this week without Joe Mixon, honestly. Cincinnati couldn't get anything done.
So they're calling Houston the 11th defense. I'm not sure if this is fantasy or what. This might be fantasy, but
yeah,
the 11th defense.
Let's put it this way: even without Roma Dunze, assuming Keenan Allen plays, if I was in fantasy football, I would not be streaming the Texans this week.
You think so?
I wouldn't stream. No, I would not.
Why?
I wouldn't play them against the Bears.
Why? After the horrible performance the Bears just put up?
Maybe it's me just being a homer, but I'm not willing to risk that.
Would you take the Bears with the points? Would you take the Bears?
So
I think when we went through our 1-by-1 game,
yeah,
I think I called an upset here. I'm not feeling strongly about that.
I'm
not feeling strongly about that now.
I got the receipts.
But I think you called it a loss.
I definitely called it a loss. I got the receipts right here. Where are we at?
I think on the road against Texans.
Yeah, you got them a win.
Yeah, because I had him started 7-0, and most of that was kind of fun. But
yeah, you haven't started. I have a realistic.
I would love to see the Bears pull this out. I don't think this is a game the Bears are supposed to win. I think that's okay. But what is it going to take for you? What do you need to see this week?
So what I'm hoping to see, obviously, significant improvement from Caleb.
Yeah. I
want to see more of the running game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Cole Kmet out there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, just I guess I want to see more consistency from the offense, sustained drives. and like converting third downs and Caleb not doing too much.
Right.
Like just play within yourself, man, and just be you.
I think that the Texans defense out game planned the Bears, and like I said, they decided we're going to keep him in the pocket. We're not going to give or the Titans. We're not going to give him 6 seconds of dancing around back there or for him to find a play. So I want to see the Bears game planned for that. Like, are they going to say like, hey, we're going to keep you in the pocket. We're not going to let you roll out. And if they do that, then we need to find a way to kind of start beating them over the middle. If they're not going to do that, maybe more some designed rollouts, and giving some Caleb some space. We liked seeing that in the preseason. I don't feel like we saw as much of that, but there were a couple of times where it looked like they tried to roll out, and there was just a guy waiting for him. I think the ends are just playing so wide.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that kind of like leaves you to oftentimes having some clean pockets if the ends aren't gunning in on you. But there was just getting so much pressure in the middle just because the center was getting blown up.
So we know what would help that a lot would be a good run game.
Good run game. No, I agree.
Okay, so like the running game is where it starts. Like I want to see a better run game.
I agree with that. I think maybe, I would like to see the Bears in that first quarter just being like, hey, we're committing to the run. Just get pound, pound, pound. I mean, that's what Harbaugh and the Chargers did. They just said, we're going to run for 4 quarters. I don't care if it's not working for 3. We're going to tire out that defense. We're going to establish a run, and they won that game. So I would like this to be a game to figure out what we got in DeAndre Swift. I like that plan. I want to see like let's run heavy. Let's make sure that DeAndre Swift gets 20 carries,
20 opportunities.
20. I want 20 carries.
Carries. Okay.
Yeah.
I want 20 opportunities, whether that be in the screen game or handoffs. I want him to touch the ball 20 times. I want DeAndre Swift not to be able to walk. Well, no, like from the standpoint, like he's sore. Not walk. I want him to be sore on Monday. How about that?
I want to hurt him.
No, I don't want to hurt him.
That's right. You said it, Mina.
I want him to be sore. I want him to feel it. Like, hey, I earned my paycheck this week.
It's immortalized in audio, man. You just said you wanted DeAndre Swift dead.
DeAndre, I don't feel that way, bro.
Just calm down, man. Like, seriously.
I drafted you out of when you came out of UGA to Detroit. I was so high on you for so long. So
did you take Bears with the points?
I was gonna say let's talk. So this is what I've decided this season. What I'm doing, I'm gonna bet money line, just money line only.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick which team I think is gonna win. So I may bet against the Bears.
You are gonna do it?
I think.
I put $50 on the Ravens to cover on Thursday night. I lost it, and I think I'm done sports betting again forever.
Yeah, I was about to be when the Bears were down at halftime. I was like, this is it. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done betting. Like this is.
So I just can't figure out this betting nonsense.
I know.
Vegas has got my number.
Well, I couldn't believe it though. They were down 14 and a half. I'm like, oh my god, the offense isn't moving the ball. But no, I think if I had to gun to my head, I don't know if the Bears can cover. I think it's going to be really tough.
Well, I mean, there would have to be some surprises.
What's the over-under?
We'd have to look like a different team. It was kind of high. I want to say it was like 48. You looking it up?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now.
And then after we do that, we'll kind of like turn to the rest of the NFC North because we knew the NFC North was going to be good, and 3 wins.
34 is the. Oh no! That's the preseason game. Whoa!
I forgot that we already played them once. Hey, we beat them once, right? CJ Stroud didn't play, but
I mean, yeah.
Neither did Caleb.
Over/under is 45.5.
That's a little high. So that would be like
that's a standard run of the mill.
That's like a 21 to 24 game.
Yeah, DK it's down to 6 now, so I guess people are betting it. Houston is minus 258. Yikes.
So I mean, I'm not touching it just because gambling is for losers.
Sure, I agree. No one wins when you gamble.
No. Definitely not me anyway. But anyway, so NFC North, the only team to receive a loss in the NFC North was Jordan Love.
So let's talk really quick about Jordan Love. So I'm actually was not happy to see this. Like as much as I hate the Packers, like you just don't want it. Like Jordan Love is he's a promising young quarterback, and like for the league and for the game. Like, you just don't want to see that happen. Yeah. I, felt awful. This was the second to last play of the game. And he's trying to extend the play, trying to drive him down the field. And, it's unfortunate. It sucks.
It could have been much worse. It's just I think it was just a strain.
Yeah.
A strain.
It didn't look like that in the time.
But yeah, against the Eagles,
Tough matchup.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. I mean, it doesn't.
In Brazil.
I don't. In Brazil, it's not an indictment on how the Packers look. Though I think they're definitely going to be behind the 8 ball, considering the Lions look good, the Bears look good enough, and surprisingly, the Vikings and Sam Darnold look just fine. So yeah,
Malik Willis is going to be starting for a few weeks, and Malik is not. He's not him. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they need some L's here to rack them up, and they're coming out of a hole. They get themselves out all season.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just give up by week 10.
Maybe. Maybe. Just rest the guy they just paid all this money to and just be like, hey, this ain't our year.
This ain't our year. Just take it slow at times.
The Packers will tank and then draft Jordan Love's replacement, and then there will be 10 years of him just being like, what the hell, guys? When are we going to draft a number 1 receiver? And then he'll start doing some ayahuasca and
going on retreats by himself in the middle of nowhere.
Become the independent vice president candidate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that what Aaron Rodgers' goal was?
There were some rumors.
He would like. I couldn't believe it. Did you see him? You didn't watch Monday Night Game.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
It didn't look bad.
The score looked bad.
I mean, for a 40-year-old guy.
I would love this. I would love for this to be the Aaron Rodgers is over tour. I heard on the radio that he's got a Netflix series that's coming out in December. Aaron Rodgers Enigma is the title of it, I think. Something like that. Ridiculous.
Oh, just stop, dude.
Yeah. It's just too damn much. I don't know. You like listening to him on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, but Tom Brady now he's in the booth, and the memes on it are awful. It's like, just let it go.
What's the memes?
Like he did awful.
Did he?
Yeah. The funny meme was like, I haven't seen Tom Brady stutter so much. No, the last time Tom Brady stuttered so much was when he asked Giselle to play one more year.
I do think it's like a special skill set that you can't just like plug any player that you want to hear talk.
Do you know who
to talk for an entire game?
You know who the color commentator was for the Bears game?
Who was it? Oh, it was I do know who was it though. Tell me.
Former quarterback, USC.
Oh, it was Matt Leinart?
Ooh, close. First name's right.
Matt. I'm not losing it. What is it? Was it?
Butt fumble.
Oh, Mark Sanchez.
Mark
Sanchez.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez. Yeah, I like Matt Sanchez. Yeah. Mark Sanchez.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, he did all right. He made the transition well.
But it's probably also something like that he didn't start like the year that he finished. But anyway.
Yeah.
So Sam Darnold and the Vikings pull out a W. Unfortunately, they still look pretty good. The Vikings might still be a team to contend with. Who did they beat? It's escaping me right now.
All I know is JJ got a touchdown too, and like Sam Darnold, also another USC guy. We're talking about 3 USC quarterbacks in a row: Caleb, Matt Leinart.
Oh, it was the Giants.
Sanchez.
Okay, whatever. He beat the no.
Still though.
What do you mean still though? It's Danny Dimes.
Doesn't matter. Still got a dub.
It is still a dub.
So that's kind of scary that they're 1-0, and then the Lions, just a scrappy team. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, they are good.
I just feel like this whole the Stafford. Has it felt like the Lions have played Stafford a couple of times?
Yeah, because they played him in the playoffs.
Oh, they did. Was that last year? Oh, you're right.
They beat him.
You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and that so it was funny because like they all booed his ass in the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah.
Because like whatever, he kind of got a standing O like this time around because it's a regular season game, week 1.
Yeah.
It could be less.
I think the general, as someone who lived there, I think just after that trade went down, I think there's still like a generally positive feelings about Matt Stafford.
Honestly, they came out pretty good from it too. Like Jared Goff's, like they're an amazing team.
It's been a pretty 1-to-1 comparison in terms of stats I've seen.
Yeah,
except for the Super Bowl.
The Rams got a Super Bowl out of it, but like McVay he's the man. But like this game though just proved to me that the Lions are as good as I thought. And the Rams are a pretty competent team. Mm-hmm. Don't think they're like a Super Bowl caliber team, but they're a wild card playoff team for sure. And like they beat them. And they play physical, and MCDC got those boys flying around.
Yeah,
scared of the Lions.
Montgomery's still out there killing it.
Monty's killing it. Well, between Gibbs and Monty, and then Jamison Williams, he's the guy from Alabama. Their pick last year, killing it, unbelievable. Almiron, like the team all around is great. I'm jealous.
Yeah. And I was really hoping that the window was going to be closing on the Lions, but I think they're still here, unfortunately.
It's wide open.
And then lastly,
Justin Fields.
JF2, QB1, wins on, was it 4 field goals, 6 field goals?
Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
I think it was 6 field goals. Numbers didn't look good, but he is named the starter of week 2. I saw like a meme.
Can you Google Justin Fields passing chart?
Sure. I saw a meme. It was Russell Wilson standing on the sideline fully pad.
Oh yeah,
Russell Wilson being in full pads on
Sure.
the sideline despite being inactive is the most Russell Wilson thing ever.
It totally is. You could just right there.
Yeah, I mean, and this has been Justin Fields' MO is he just cannot throw over the middle of the field.
So I saw the meme on this.
A lot of completions here though. Like I mean the completion percentage is good, but like yeah.
You know what the meme is?
What's the meme?
This looks like a pitcher who belongs in the minors.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, dude.
I don't know. Some of these are kind of painting the corners.
No, he's not painting the corners.
Javi Baez is swinging a few of these.
Javi Baez swings at everything though. He is awful.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Javi Baez
but not even an attempt in the middle of the field. That's nuts.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
nuts.
Tom. Here's the thing, like. Justin Fields playing gives us the better pick, yes. But at the same time, though, if it doesn't work for Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, it's not going to work for him.
They're giving him every opportunity because it doesn't even sound like Russell Wilson has that bad of an injury.
Tomlin is like, okay, Justin, this is what we're going to do. Everything is either going to be an incompletion.
Don't lose this game. Game manager. I mean, that could be what he's trying to create here. What's the long game in Pittsburgh right now? What is their plan?
No plan.
Like
one game at a time.
To draft like 15th overall forever and like never have anything.
Tomlin wants to be the only head coach ever to never have a losing season. He's gonna do it.
I mean, he's 1-0.
Dude, he's gonna get it done. But
I don't know. If I were a Steelers fan, I'd just be like, what is the plan here?
Well, they're probably sitting there 1-0. They beat Kirk Cousins. That's all that matters.
That's true.
That's all that matters.
Kirky boy, Kirk O'Chains did not. He might be washed. That would suck.
For who?
I don't know. For me, I guess.
Yeah.
I love Kirk O'Chains.
Well,
and I do have him on my fantasy team, but I did bench him for Justin Fields, who I drafted 4 picks after Russell Wilson in our draft.
So I do have a theory really quick because Kirk O'Chains or Kirk Cousins, he really didn't look super mobile in the pocket.
Yeah, no, I saw. I couldn't talk on the radio that his dropbacks were like 1.5 yards shorter than previous years or something like that.
And he wasn't really planting, and so like I wonder if the Falcons he passed his physical, all that stuff, and they got him in there, and they're like, you're not okay. I think that's why they drafted Penix.
That crossed my mind, but I'm not giving the Falcons that much credit. I don't think they could have figured it out that quickly. Because you're right, they probably evaluated him, and it's not like they didn't figure it out whether or not what he was capable of before they gave him this contract, and then decided, oh wait, I don't know, I'm not sure about all that. We'll see. I mean, it's still early in the season.
Yeah.
Quarterback. I mean, you sent me the Instagram post. Quarterback play was historically bad this week compared to previous week. It was average 150 yards.
Awful, but that's week one. That's week one.
Yeah, but you said that. But the meme was like it's much worse than it had been previously.
Yeah, but I think that's just a function of week one and what we're doing and where we're at.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. But but we also it's comparing other week ones. Is the meme that you showed me. Quarterbacks threw 188 pass yards per game in week one, the fewest in any week since 2007.
Yeah, that's scary.
In any week.
That's scary.
It's not scary. It's fine.
Well, Joe Burrow had an awful game, and Danny Dimes, I think, threw for 4 yards.
They both got interesting hair now, though. So, yeah, that's that.
Hopefully they'll get to ring the bell next week.
We might need to be, next week can be a week for polishing the bell, but...
Are you calling it out?
I don't need the Bears to win to be content when we're sitting here next Monday. CC. But I would like to see some flashes of what we're hoping to see from Caleb. I hope he throws his first touchdown pass. I hope we're seeing a couple of those deep balls. I hope we're seeing some stuff over the middle of the field. I hope the offensive game planning looks a little bit more competent. But at the end of the day, this might not be win number 2. This might not be ding number 2.
If I lose my bet, if they throw a touchdown pass every other game the rest of the season, I will still be happy. I don't care.
Well, you're not getting any money on that, Kevin.
I don't
care.
Lost
the money.
But like you said, I want to see Caleb improve. I want to see a touchdown pass out of Caleb, and I want to see DeAndre Swift getting going.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see this week.
Me too. All right. I think that's all I got for this week, Kev.
Let's do it, man.
All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bears 1-0. We got a long season ahead of us.
Weekly podcast.
DFT. Comments what you think the name of this game. If you have a different idea for the name of the game, hey, if we love something that you guys put in the comments, we'll put that.
Shout it out.
We'll shout it out next week, and then we'll put that on the official list. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Kevin, Bears fans, peace.